There's also a Mexican chorizo, and they all have different flavoring. The primary flavor in this particular sausage is the Spanish paprika.
So spice about cooler.
Correct. Yeah. And we had a group of 12 earlier, and we had a very small pan that was about this big. And we have this amazing burner, which has just lines of propane that come up. And if anyone has ever been to Spain, you've seen how they prepare paella. If you put a paella pan on a regular stove burner, you've got this burn spot in the center. This has rings around it, so you can actually control each of them. There are little controls on the side of this. And in all the restaurants, they have multiple burners with multiple rings, and they can cook a lot of these at all at the same time.
So how do you cook it at home?
You can do it in any kind of skillet, and we would suggest, and it's in my recipe, you can either do it on a barbecue with a lid, because that has a different kind of heat distribution. Also, the bottom of an oven, just right on the metal or the bottom of an oven is good. And then I would finish it on the stove top, right? So you can finish up and crisp up the rice on the base, which is a specialty. I'm going to put in some saffron here now. So immediately you're seeing that we've got some rendering of some of the fat, and so it turns nice and golden. And the best way to distribute the flavor of the saffron is right into the oil. And then we have a prepared, this is called a sofrito. A sofrito is, it's in all Spanish and a lot of Hispanic cultures. And it's basically a pepper and onion sauce. And this was made ahead of time. We have it in the restaurant normally for the breakfast items in the morning. Again, it's mainly the Spanish paprika is the flavor, that smoked paprika. And if you don't know what that is, it's the same aroma that you get from a barbecued potato chip. If you put your nose into a bag of potato chips, it's that same kind of smoky kind of flavor you get. No, actually, Hungarian paprika is really just, it has some flavor, but it has a lot of color. But it doesn't have a lot of flavor. More of that, so we're going to do about 12 cups of rice. This is a paella rice. And for those of you who want to find this, it's actually at Whole Foods and Berkeley Bowl, I think some of the better markets. It has it down as a paella rice.
What's the difference of paella rice versus, let's say,
It's a short grain rice. It's a little smaller than arborio that you use for a risotto.
They have it in Spanish too.
They do. And it's, I've tried to make a healthy paella one time with brown rice. Doesn't work. All of you know me.
You get credit for the effort.
It came out crunchy. It would never cook, right? All right. This rice incorporated. Look at that color. It's brilliant. I'm going to continue to add a little bit of this is canola oil, just to help distribute the oils a little bit in it. So last, what's that? It actually comes from a little bit of the saffron, yeah, but primarily from the chorizo. So there are a lot of ways to cook rice. This one is a little bit different. I'm going to add a little more rice just to be sure we have enough for everybody. There's some typical boiled rice, right? You get 2 cups of rice, or a cup of rice, 2 cups of water, put the lid on, let it evaporate, you're good to go. You can do the risotto rice, which is a constant stirring of the rice and adding in liquid as it absorbs. You've got a pilaf where you do a little onion in the pan, in the saute pan, you put the rice in, kind of coat it in the oils, throw on some stock, put it in the oven with a lid. Then you have this particular method, which after I get it incorporated, we are not going to stir it any longer. And we'll just continue to add liquid on the top, and then it will absorb, and you'll see it as it progresses. As this is cooking, you guys can come and go and see how it progresses. We're going to serve a salad here in a minute. And just come around and kind of peek at it. You'll start to see that the liquid is absorbed, and then we'll add more to make sure the rice is covered at all times. But I never want to stir it. Once I actually add the initial liquid, I won't be stirring it any further.
What's your liquid?
We have actually a fish stock. And the best thing you can do is buy your shrimp unpeeled, and and then just use those shells, because you're not going to make this for 40 people, you make it for 2 or 3 or 4, and put those shells in a water and just kind of simmer them for about 30 minutes, and you get this nice broth, and it actually is very flavorful. Yeah, and since I'm here, I'll just pour it in. So I'm thanking the staff for doing this for me. So again, this is onions, peppers. I use an Anaheim chili instead of a green pepper. Just like the complexity of the flavor a little better. We use a lot of smoked paprika. There is no garlic in it.
Those are green peppers, I'm sorry, red peppers in there. They're not.
Yeah, just regular red pepper. Lots of onions. It's actually called a pepper onion sauce, so it's primarily that. Now, of course, you guys are going to get the recipe, and it's really about the execution. Once you figure this out, then you just add whatever ingredients you like. You can do, this is going to be seafood with clams and mussels and shrimp. You can also add fishes. You can add chicken. All right.
So what makes it distinctly Italian?
It's the ingredients, and the smoked paprika is the flavoring, and it's just the technique that I'm going to show you how we do this. Now, when you've ever had any classes with me, I always recommend, if you're making any kind of risotto, you'll always want to heat your stock. Anytime you're adding cold liquid into a dish, it just brings the temperature way down. It has to rebuild itself. So anytime you want to speed up the whole process, just heat your stock. That's going to make me crazy.
You know the vegetables you added, is there any heat in there? Like any?
There's a little bit of cayenne pepper in it actually. And then the smoked paprika, there are 2 varieties, one that's spicy and one that's mild. And we actually use the spicy variety. I'm getting a facial while we eat. Once the rice is, now the rice is done only by testing it. So about 20 minutes into this, I'm going to taste it for the first time. I'm just going to make sure that the rice is softening. We had a little tilt here earlier where we were spilling over the edge. You'll have to watch that. So I'm just going to bed this rice down in here now. Let it come back to a simmer. And everyone always asks, you know, what temperature, how high should the barbecue be, what should the oven be set for? It's less about what's on the dial and less about anything other than just looking at the activity in the pan. So when I show you the simmer we're going to go for, we'll make sure that you all see that, and then we'll this table's tilting.
Is it like just enough to cover everything?
Initially to cover the rice, and you'll see in about 15-20 minutes it'll start to absorb into the rice, and it'll start to sink down, and you'll start to see it dry it out. And then we always want to make sure that we keep the rice covered at all times, otherwise that's how it's going to cook. Now the next step, very simply, we're going to be putting in the shellfish. We'll do the clams first, which take a little longer than everything else. This is mentioned in the recipe. Start with the clams. We always put the hinge side down into the rice and make sure they're embedded into the rice. When that time comes, we have a whole bunch of clams to do, so I'm going to call you up to help me out, 2 people. After the clams open up, and actually when that happens, we're going to cover it with some foil. And then we're going to add in the mussel secondarily, and then the shrimp is going to be just put on the top and covered with the foil and steamed, only until just done, right? We had our last batch, and the shrimp came out really creamy, right? And not chewy, but just perfect. And it's just to the point where they just turn pink. And all of you know you're like this. Oh, I love shrimp. I'm going to cook the shrimp, and then I'm going to let it go for 4 minutes, and then I'm going to add 2 more just to be sure, and then just a couple more minutes. Oh, and then the family's gathering, and it's still on the stove, still cooking, and they come out rubbery and chewy, right? Yeah. So tonight, granted, we have a large portion. It may be difficult for us to get the shrimp out right away, but that is the goal. The shrimp goes in very last, and only to the point where it's just done, and then serve it out. Okay? We're going to have you all be seated, and we're going to serve you your salad first. And you're going to help me put these in a second.
Okay.
What do you want to say now, but not now?
It's oyster and clam knuckle.
Hinge first. See, I've been putting them in upside down.
So I thought I knew everything, and I was doing this class in my house, and this one guy came in, and he's from the east, so he knew that more about clam stuff. And he said, you always put the hinge down because actually the whole, the body is right here, and and it also opens up.
Right. Yeah,
It's
it's
cooked faster.
both more aesthetic and cooks faster.
So it sounded like I knew what I was saying, right? But I only learned that like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, well. Only 3 weeks sooner than me.
Well, you're either correct or 180 degrees out, right?
That's right. And even if you put them upside down, who cares?
Well, right. I mean, then they open inward, you know. That's got its own aesthetic.
So we're going to try, so all you can do, Rich, is just try the rice to see if it's getting done. We're going to go for 2/3 of the way finished before we add the clam.
Okay, and the rest is just stepwise.
Which is now.
Which is now, okay.
So hinges down.
Hinges down,
into the
boys.
rice. And I'm just going to step away
Hinges down.
and let you do that. So now the rice is about 2/3 of the way done. Done. Put the clams in, hinge side down, deep into the rice.
Deep.
Make sure they're buried.
Deep undercover.
If they won't bury it, turn
Turn
sideways.
sideways.
So what are people like us who've never done this before? What are we tasting for 2/3 doneness? What would you? Yeah, I wanted to do that too.
What did you do?
To stick them
You
in
just
hinge
put the
first.
clams in there, and you see how they're popping open already.
Right, you
So
can push
initially
them
it's going to
in.
be completely crunchy. 5 minutes ago it was crunchy. Now it's softened but not done.
That's the way I like the sauce.
What's that?
Won't the clams and mussels get overcooked?
Well, we put them in sequence. So the clams first, then mussels, then the shrimp. And the clams generally take longer. Although these ones are kind of room temperature, so they're already beginning to open up.
How much longer?
Beautiful. I would say six more minutes.
6 minutes, exactly.
I like it with those guys with cast iron fingers.
Are we putting all these in? Yes, you are.
We are.
Put your heart in the
Doing
Adding the mussels.
adding the mussels.
Shoving mussels.
This is when
Okay, so tell me, where did the shrimp go?
the shrimp aren't here yet.
Okay, so they're the last.
They're the very last, because they should only cook for about a minute or so.
Okay.
Because if not, you get rubber.
I feel like a squeeze video.
You got to put them hinge in.
Hingin.
Not
Engine?
Hingin.
hinge down.
These are hingin mussels. Yeah.
Does it look about right, Charlie?
Keep going.
You're not yelling at me yet, so I guess I'm doing it right.
I'll tell you when to stop.
I thought it was just us.
Okay, that's good. Good? And then let's put the oil back on.
Oil. Yeah, we're totally good.
If you guys want more mussels, we'll throw them inside and steam them all up and we'll finish them. It'll work. And the peas are really for color more than anything else.
And if you give me your contact,
Sorry, Bob. You know, it's taken me 4 hours to shuck those all for you.
Did you buy these already shelled?
The shrimp? Yes. Those are peeled and deveined, yes.
More shrimp than that?
These were sourced on an institutional level through the restaurant. Yeah, let's do as much as we can. You just try not to make them single layer though, because they need to hit the rice. Now these are a bit cold, so they're going to take some time to get back to temperature. I think this will feed you all, don't you think?
Looks like some of the ones they have in those.
What time in this one?
Sarah, you getting some good pictures for
I
me?
am.
Okay.
Nice big 21, 25, really beautiful shrimp.
Can you send me a few shots, would you?
I would, absolutely. The lighting is
Okay, guys, we're good. Yep. So let's go ahead and put these back on with the red side down.
yeah, that was nice. Cover it up. Because those peas were fresh. They take a while. I just couldn't.
Yeah, what
she get the recipe from? She said, yeah, doing it ahead. I might do it for our dinner. We're having we're the next dinner, neighborhood dinner.
We should see, let's get a small ring.
A ring.
Check out the day by day.
Once everyone leaves, we go back.
I'm going to get these undercooked shrimp underneath. We're going to leave this part alone for a little bit. Now we don't have much of a crispness on the bottom, which is good, but it's not burned. That's awesome.
Yeah, you don't want to put it. But there's still plenty of liquid. You let the liquid evaporate.
I'll probably serve from this side.
Okay.
Since this is drier.
Oh yeah, that's
Bill, are you documenting this all for us tonight?
I am, Charlie. I'm getting it all, buddy.
You have these enormous, the bag on the bottom, like this big pans that they've out in the street, and they've got these big paddling.
They gave us some paddles, but I don't know how to use them. I got those things in the back, but I'm not up here. Yeah, I'm just going to put this up here. Alright, so we're going to start serving. And I only have this one spoon that has slots in it. Drives me crazy. I've already asked. You guys have a spoon without slots in it? No.
Are you going to be
Alright, so you guys are going to get the first plates to deliver to your gals, okay?
Alright. So is that how much broth you're supposed to have?
It's a little soupy, but I'm ready to serve. It's time. So I'm just going to draw it off of the... It's drier up here.
So now if you're going to try and get the correct? Is that what you say?
Yeah.
You would turn the heat up now, right?
Correct. And I'll probably do that at the end after I serve so that I can see what I'm doing because it's so much. And then we'll kind of taste it at the end as well. I'm going for clams. And shrimp. This is going to be for Rita.
Did not add any oil.